Hi, welcome to Soul Sense Podcast. I'm Mark, and today we're talking about triggers are your friend. I notice that most people I speak with think about triggers in a very negative way. Oh man, I got triggered again. I want you to see how you can embrace triggers. For example, the first thing that I can tell you overall is that the triggers are telling you something very important. The first thing may simply be grieve this. This thing that has triggered you, grieve this. So how does a trigger fit in with grieving? You have a historical event, something sad, some kind of loss. A trigger reminds you of the historical event. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because it's a necessary part of getting these emotions out. You get triggered, you have a primary emotion, which is short but intense, and then you have an evaluation stage and a secondary emotion. And as long as that's not all or nothing, or I'm just going to stuff the emotions, if it's somewhere in the middle, as you go through the triggers over and over, you will process it and get towards acceptance, which you have to get to for grieving. So the first value of a trigger is when it says grieve this, and you process some of that grief right there. The second thing a trigger tells you is dig here. There's something here. If you're getting triggered by something, it's like an allergic reaction. You may not know what you're allergic to, but if you can figure that out, maybe you're allergic to dairy products. Okay, you're going to have to skip dairy products because it's causing the allergic reaction. But the trigger is actually telling you, if the second thing is to dig here, there's something unresolved that needs to be brought to the light. Kind of like your dog digging up an old bone in the backyard. Oh, now he gets to chew on it. There's something that has been buried that needs to come to the surface. So the first thing is a trigger says grieve this. The second thing is dig here. The third thing it can tell you is surrender this. You may be holding on to something that God's asking you to release. Corrie ten Boom said, I've learned to hold everything loosely, so if God requires it, it won't hurt as bad when I let it go. When we hold on to things tightly, we could be triggered. It's like a little child that says, mine, with the toy. They don't want to let it go. They want to possess it. But if Jesus is Lord, then he gets to choose what we hold on to for now and what we let go of. So the third thing a trigger could say is surrender this. Now the fourth thing is pretty obvious. There may be a care that you need to cast on him. 1 Peter 5:7 says, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. Is there something you're worrying about? Is there something you're holding on to that you need to release? So I want you to think about triggers are not your enemy. They're really your friend. Grieve this, dig here, surrender this, or cast your care. Those are the four things I want you to hold on to. If you enjoy this podcast, please do us a favor and like, subscribe, and share with others who might need it. And you can find additional resources at SamaritansWell.com.